All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about tonight is kind of the lazy way of getting in and securing a fight starting, which is just sitting down or pulling guard for no gi. But with no gi, what I need to make sure I'm getting grips of some sort. So usually that can be 4 fingers on their wrist, or not on the wrist, on the meat of their hand, underneath by the pinky. It's a little bit stronger because I can turn his hands inward, especially if I come in and I'm getting both. We get in here, I've got control of his hands, and then I can come in. When I come in, I don't necessarily sit back and pull him. I'm trying to go in. Usually I'm coming in and I'm getting a foot engaged behind one leg. If it's not behind a leg, I'm at least going to try and hook something. But once I come down, I need to keep at least one wrist control. Usually that's the farthest one. I can let go of the close one. I can come in at the leg, or I can sit right in. I can go from around behind. I can step out. I can now come in. I can do no gi, el riva. I can come in, get my single X spread out. I can go hook guard, pick up, sit them down, and then I can get up. I have control of the fight. As long as we're getting a grip of some sort, so whether that be an overhand on the wrist here, and you notice how I'm not grabbing underneath, I'm grabbing over here. So I've got a lot of control with this versus this. I don't have as much. I can push down with this versus pull down, right? So I can come in here, even that, I can rotate better, I can control him more. Here, head to shoulder connection, then I can come in and bring him down. I've got my wrist control, overhook, spread out, right? I can control, step up, and then I can take down, right? As long as you're maintaining some form of a grip when you pull, that's really all you need for no gi. If I just sit, I lose a point, right? With the competition that's coming up, you're going to lose a point regardless for sitting, which I think is a good system. It forces people to engage in fighting. But if you just want to get the fight to the ground, just grab, pull in. Always make sure you're getting hooks in, right? I've got 2 points of contact. I've got 3. I've got 4, 3, 4, right? I want to make sure I've got points of contact. At any point, if I'm disengaged, so this would be disengaged, this is engaged, right? If I'm disengaged, the minute you sit down and you stay down for 30 seconds, you lose a point. So you go, if you do it at the start of the match, you go into negatives. Yeah, you have 30 seconds to get from bottom to top, right? So if I sit down, I spread out, and I come up, I wouldn't lose a point because I'm down 30 seconds. If I, yeah, the minute I come in, I just sit down and I scoot away for 30 seconds. Boom, it's 30 seconds. Okay, I just lost a point, right? So
if you're gonna take that risk,
you gotta get in. You gotta start engaging at least. So even if I come in and we start fighting, even if I don't get a sweetness, I'm engaging. If I pull guard and I don't engage and I wait for them to come, I have 30 seconds to engage or I lose the point. Right? So just with pulling no gi guard, get points of contact, sit in. You can wrap your legs around like this. Either way, right? Even if we get into here, boom, I can control the leg. This is going to give us an entry into a single, or if I pull, we can set up for a double leg. We're going to do both of those. So if I'm pulling for the double, I've sat down, I'm engaged, and I'm up. If he were to come into me, I can fish his hands into the way, and then I can sit up, and I get a double, right? Yeah. It's getting them off. So right now he's got a good center line. He's got base points. The minute, that's why I go for the feet down low, so I hook around. If I control the arm here and I come around, well, I'm pulling a center line way off the minute I come around, so I can hug here at the wrist, I can kick out, the center line comes off, and that's what makes them go down. It's not, as long as I can get their base wide, he'll go down. It's not about pulling, pushing, well, it is, but not so much. It's just I need to get space in between his base so he loses balance. Right? Makes sense? From bottom position, angle doesn't matter. It's getting them off balance. Because here, if I go into my single X, right, to get him off balance, I widen his base out and he falls down. Right? I'm not doing anything other than straightening him out. He's got a good strong base here. The minute I spread him out, he goes down. It shouldn't take a whole lot of force to get someone down, right? Because he's up and he's tall. If he comes down on top of me, even in that position, so if he grabs around my head, he grabs around my neck, he's in tight, I can try and push, but he can plant out in front and he can grab onto me, right? I can try and push as much as I want, but because all of his center line is above me and over, I can't go anywhere other than under and change it. Make more sense. Show this version of it. And this works more if we happen to sit back. So I boom, boom, I engage, and I go for it, but somehow I sit back. Well, the minute I sit back, I need to make sure I get engaged, right? So now I've got my leg to roll over, and I've got my drive. So if he comes into me, I hook, I can brace, I can step up, I can grab, and I can drive, right? Even if we pull, so boom, boom. If I pull and I'm actively engaged here, I've got my drive, I've got something to roll over, he comes in, right? Even if, let's say someone's isn't engaging, they don't want to come in and get grips, okay? Then that might give them the want to come in, they come in, and I can drive into them, right? It's the same idea as that penetration step. I'm doing it from here. I've got this is helping to move a little bit by rolling over it, right? And then I keep driving in. So I stretch myself out as I hug around. And my ear's already perfect to do this. So as we come in, drive. And I pull that leg in. And I keep all my weight and I hug around them legs. And I try and stay teepeed out kind of like this. This makes it harder for him to get hooks in. Right? Even if he gets one in, that's fine. Because I have control of the legs, I sprawl out and I put my butt way up in the air. And I can drive down and I can walk around and then I can come in and move around. So if we're doing that from pulling in, and I sit, if I go from here, my foot's in front, I need to make sure it comes behind, so the minute I come behind, I activate, so everything's ready to go. He starts to push in, I reach around, and I drive, and I keep driving in, so I can either push the legs out of the way, or I can walk around them. So just as you... Huh? Yeah. Come here, Jordan, he wants to see it. So again, we come in. So if I sit back here, I make sure I'm sitting wide, because I can use this to help push, and I've got this to roll into, right? If I sit like this, and he starts to move around, then I can switch out, and I gotta be ready to grab and drive, right? Again, come in, I grab, boom, and I drive. When you grab around for the legs, stand up. When you grab around for the legs, I'm going behind the knee, and I'm looking, so if you stand wide, Jordan. So when I grab around, as he's walking in, so he walks in, I grab around, I'm cupping my thumb around the knees, and this one's almost pulling in, so I'm buckling his knees in. I can grab down, and I can drive in, and I keep this lock here. That keeps good control. My head is fine on the thighs and on the hips. I have good control of the legs. I keep good heavy chest pressure. I can walk it wide. I can move around. When you're moving around, at least keep one arm hugging the leg, whether it be like this, even like this. So I'm using my thumb to lock his legs in place or grab underneath. I just want something to control the legs. So just one last time. Boom, we come in, I grab, I sit, and he starts to walk in. I drive. You pressure in, can step in, I can walk up. I just keep heavy pressure on. Okay. We'll get into the single leg, which would be my more preferred way of doing it. So that's just more kind of the idea is if I'm disengaging. This one is I want to engage. So what I'm going to do is when I come in, I'm going to come in, grab. Now, how I enter in is a little bit important. I'm going to step in, and if I can, I want to look to hook around the legs this way. So this is my lead leg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do that same idea of crisscross applesauce. I'm going to come in, I'm going to pull around so I can come in here, whether it be I sit down and I hook. I at least need one leg to be up like this. Now when I come down, I don't need to worry about the legs, or not the legs, the arms. I can go to here and I can post out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step back. I'm going to use my leg that's hooked around his to pull it back. And as I pull back, I'm going to step around as far as I can. So I'm going to hug ear to the thigh. I'm going to sit up. And as I sit up, I drive my torso into him. And my back half goes backwards. And I can either get the takedown right from there, or if that doesn't take him down, and I do that drag back here, I step out enough so his leg comes in between, and I go as deep in the thigh as I can get, and I can hug under the ankle, and I can just step up, keep control. And I keep that control the whole time I get up here, so I have good control here. And when I'm standing above someone, I'm nice and low, right? I'm heavy above them. My center line is above him. If I'm up and trying to drive with my hips, he can start getting control. He can do things. He can get me off balance. I'm in, grabbing around the head, keeping good control. I can pressure in, right? I've got a staple. I've got him crisscrossed here. Sprawl out, move around. So actively, even too. When I come in, I can sit in, hook, hug, back step. I'm re-engaging. So if you do it that way, so when your foot comes in underneath and you're over top, I come in, I turn so I can swim my leg out, and I rotate my weight around so I can pop that leg out. So I'm going from here, shift, step out, and I pull myself in. Now that's nice and tight. I've got my driving leg to sit up. I pull back. If that stays hooked in, that's okay. I can step out, drive up. But the main idea is I have control of that leg simply just by hooking around. And if I step up, I can pull him out. I don't need total control of his leg, but using his leg as a way to step up, step out, drive up. I'll go down eventually. and I come in, control the leg here, cup around, drive here. I can do this. I can walk around. I've got gift wrap, right? That one makes sense.